let's say you're working, you're at your desk, you have your screen on, and let's take a dog. Your dog is staring at a corner in your room. And first you don't notice it, but then you kind of feel the movement, subtle movement your dog has. And then you realize, okay, the dog is, let's call her Sally, okay? Sally. Sally is staring at the corner in your room and she's staring back at you. So you continue working, then this goes a little while on. She's staring at the corner, she's staring back at you, and suddenly she's getting a little bit more nervous, just a tiny bit. So you notice that when you look at her, she's kind of tightening up and the eyes get a little bit smaller or bigger. And she starts to pace a little bit around in the room. And you still ignore because you have a lot of things to do. But of course, you're a good pet parent, good animal parent. You look at your Sally. And then there comes a point where she's even more nervous. So her movement is getting faster. She's pacing around, probably on some point starts barking at the corner in the room, or even comes to you, just presses her body to your side, like either she wants to kind of wake you up, push you a little bit, or getting tucked under your protection. And you ignore this. You ignore this probably a few times, and then suddenly on some moment you think, you look at Sally and you think, oh, she's actually pretty smart. She has a good feeling for people outside, for people who may be not so positive. So you acknowledge that she has awareness for, let's call it, energy. And then from this thought, you reflect on, okay, maybe she does react to some things around in your apartment or in your house also. And guess what she does? Because it's in her system. And to understand this, we have to dive in a little bit deeper in, well, let's call it the spiritual world. So for most people, the animals we live with today or we share our places with are a byproduct on Earth, or we can also say the humans are the higher evolution and the animals kind of got stuck somewhere at the ape point, or some spiritual systems say, oh, yeah, okay, of course they have a soul and they are beings with self-awareness. And when we talk about this, we have to understand this is all coming from a modern point of view. This is coming from Darwin. This is coming from a post-industrial point of view on animals. This is coming from a point of view where we as humans don't need the connection with this planet anymore, with nature, with water, with the dimensional life forms, because we are so safe and so secure that basically we cut all these ties and we are self-sufficient. Okay? But when we go back a little bit in the ancient systems, we realize that animals are the older life forms on Earth. We talk about the ancient wisdom systems. We talk about the pre-Egyptian Kemetic system. We talk about the Vedas, the Vedic system. We talk about the Kabbalah. So all of them grant the animal a soul which is older. You can also say there is a spark of godly creation that is equal in all life forms, but differently displayed over time. And when you think about that and you go into the old systems, then you realize that through different dimensions and times, animals kept their form of connection. They're not cut off. They're not only in touch with their physical senses, which of course they use in their daily life, or they refer to when they need to survive, like smelling, the hearing, all of that, the playfulness, or maybe the fear. So that's part of them. You can say the same way we are attracted by food, we react to light, we react to a screen when we see a nice movie. So we use our senses to survive. Okay. But what about what we call our higher senses, which we mostly assign to our soul or soul awareness or some sort of energy higher self in between? Your animal has that too. Sally has that too. And she never lost it. So for her, the dimensional awareness has never gone away. She maybe now eats dog food out of her can and she's ruled through the day, through your daily workflow, but she's not disconnected from her higher senses. And these senses, when you follow her through the day, are sometimes reacting to people which maybe you talk to, and they give you all the physical signals of being nice. So they own the body language. They know the words, how to seduce you a little bit. They know the show, the game they have to put on to lower your deeper signals, to lower your fear, to involve you in something, or maybe to sell you something. Your dog or animals, they don't react to that. They react to the energy, they react to body heat, they react to stress. But really what I want to point you here mostly to is they react to the frequency, to the energy of a human being. So they cannot trick. You can overrule that with giving them a treat. And when you go back to Sally and her staring at the corner, and what I described to you is basically her reaction to something not positive. So first of all, she can, or your animal can react through, let's call it 3 basic settings. The first of all, in the energy world or dimensional world, there can be something that is neutral. Neutral means it's just there. In order to get this, we have to understand that we're never alone. We can rent an apartment, we can buy a house, we can say, okay, this is my ground, this is my sofa, I put all of this stuff in. But it's very hard to own the dimensional space. So basically, you're never alone. You just can clear the space. You can set up some rules. That's why the ancients built temples, and that's why we do some energetic clearing. But basically, just because you see a room as empty, it doesn't mean it necessarily is. So let's say there is something that is neutral, which is totally okay, because it doesn't demand anything from you, and it maybe doesn't want even to go in any form of interaction, but your animals, especially cats, are reacting to that. So they just focus on it and they follow it with their eyes, but mostly they don't really care. And then there is the wonderful world of everything that's positive. And that can be from ancestors, beings that support you, which in Western society we call guardians or guardian angels, although there are many more names for them in the ancient systems. And there can be very positive entities which are attracted by maybe the meditations or energy work you do. And to these entities or energies, your animal will also react positive or neutral. It means if there is an energy that is neutral to positive or slightly positive, when you watch Sally, so our dog Sally or dog girl Sally, her body is relaxed. She's maybe even a little bit playful, her eyes open, her tail wags a little bit. And it's like she wants probably to invite you to play with that. And then we have the other situation, a not so cool situation. This is where something unpleasant comes in. So unpleasant has a wide range from neutral to annoying to negative, and also to a level where your animal is simply in panic. And you can see that by the way you watch your animal's body. So every sign of stress, like getting tense, lowering the back, pacing around, staring, barking, looking back on you. And a lot of times when I talk to students, they tell me they didn't realize that at first. They didn't realize that animals show the same body signals or signals to something that's in a dimensional consciousness than in the real 3D daily life. And they also tell me that their body or they were stressful at the moment, or even annoyed or kind of aggressive internally, because this is what something negative does to you. So you're getting stressed, your energy system starts to get into protection mode. So you're getting tense. Most of the time we don't realize it because we do something that is so incredibly important that we forget to watch our body system, which is the best detection system we have. So it's not always like the third eye or having a great seeing moment. It's your body has a very, very good built-in detection system for good, bad, neutrals. Now, when you think about it and you reflect on it and you say, my animal reacted to something and it was actually, she was very happy. And when I think about that, I realized I was very relaxed too. And even there was a sudden smile at my face. And I actually don't know why, because my day was stressful. And then at the other hand, my animal was reacting to something. I played it down and suddenly I felt very bad, or I had a very bad sleep, or I felt like I was not alone in the room. So acknowledge what your animal is telling you. And this brings us to animal communication. A lot of people in the Western civilization think animal communication is an exchange of thoughts, ideas, understanding each other better, which is cool, which is or can be a part of it. But actually, you're sharing something else too. You're sharing dimensional awareness. You're sharing the fact that you co-inhabit this planet. You sharing the fact that the animals were here before you, and there is a knowledge they can share, which you can use when you understand them properly. And so is the first thing to trust your animal, to learn to trust your animal, to read the very simple signs of the body, get discernment for that, and not to look at these behaviors from a human point of view, from an educational point of view, how the animal should behave. To acknowledge that there is sometimes a situation where it's not about behavior, where it's about energy. And I promise you one thing, if you're a sensitive person, if you have a deep connection to animals, you know that this is true. You know that your animal feels things you at the moment don't have the words or the framework to explain. And you know that your animal can be a guardian and can help you to develop a safe space to understand a lot of the secrets of the universe, but also to understand your animal better, to have more capacity to feel it. And my name is Nikki Sabeti. Like and subscribe so you get notified, your animal gets notified probably too. And we see each other soon here again. Take care.